Last year was all demos, teasers, and a whole lot of big talk. But 2025? This was the year things finally got real. Robotics hit a true breakthrough, technology accelerated, commercialization moved even faster. Some companies literally kicked their way into multi-million-dollar funding. Some went viral just by walking a runway, and yes, CEOs were arguing online about whose videos were fake. Fun? Absolutely. Noise? Plenty. But here's the real question. Which humanoid robots actually crossed the threshold this year? And why these 10? Today, we're not replaying demos you've already seen 100 times. We're going to break down, clearly, calmly, the 10 humanoid robots that define 2025 and what truly sets them apart. Let's get into it. Tesla Optimus, Gen 3, the global attention magnet, Elon's firstborn. The leap from Gen 2 to Gen 3 is simple, but massive. It finally started learning on its own. No hidden operators, no joystick behind the scenes. Now Optimus watches humans work, again and again, and then does the task itself. Cooking, cleaning, folding laundry. It can even throw a punch combo that actually looks intentional. Then came the December milestone. Optimus didn't just run. It tracked its own position while running, a completely different level of autonomy. But the real highlight this year? The hands. Degrees of freedom jumped from 11 to 22, not for show, but for the precision you need for real household tasks, especially the ones humans hate doing. Elon's message has been the same all year. Optimus isn't a toy. It's an industrial product in the making, and the strategy is crystal clear. Use Tesla's massive automotive supply chain to push unit cost down to $20,000, maybe $30,000. And this time, it's not just talk. More than 1,000 Optimus units are already working inside the Texas Gigafactory, moving battery packs, sorting components, assisting inspections. Tesla even placed a $685 million actuator order with Chinese suppliers. Enough hardware to build roughly 180,000 robots. So what does all this mean? Optimus is no longer a prototype. It's entering the production phase. And if Tesla nails the 2026 manufacturing ramp, Optimus could become the Model 3 of humanoid robotics, where scale and cost rewrite the market. Unitree, the global disruptor. And this year, it practically lived on the trending page. It all started with China's Spring Festival Gala. Dozens of robots in bright floral jackets, dancing on national TV, making millions suddenly realize robots aren't far away anymore. And Unitree didn't slow down. Half marathons, backflips, bicycle tricks, turning hardcore robotics into pure viral entertainment. Then came May, the G1, about 4'2", around $13,000, a price that shocked the entire industry. Before anyone recovered, July brought the R1, starting at roughly $5,600. Just like that, humanoid robots jumped from luxury toys to standard equipment for universities and research labs all over the world. Unitree proved one simple rule: if the price hits hard and the moves look wild, the market follows. Figure 3. The sleek, high-end face of the humanoid world. But looks aren't the real story. Figure's true bet is intelligence. Figure 3 runs the company's Helix model, built for one core ability: understanding what humans are doing. And to make that understanding work, Figure 3 hides wide-angle cameras inside its palms. So even when the head can't see the task, the hands still can. The result is dramatic. Tasks that used to take traditional robots months of programming can now be learned in just a few minutes. That's the real advantage. It doesn't just move like a human, it learns like one. And visually, it's one of the few robots that looks humanish without slipping into the uncanny valley, thanks to soft materials wrapped across the entire body. But don't let the elegance fool you. Figure 2 has already been working inside BMW's Spartanburg plant, contributing to the production of more than 30,000 vehicles. And that loop, understand the task, learn fast, then perform real work, is what pushed Figure to the top of global valuations. Boston Dynamics, the veteran of the robotics world, once the king of viral stunts, but this year, much quieter. In 2025, the company stepped away from its parkour-era performances and focused entirely on real commercial deployment. The new all-electric Atlas drops hydraulics completely and is now being tested inside Hyundai's factories, moving parts, loading components, and handling the steady, repetitive tasks that real production lines require. But its signature ability remains untouched. Atlas moves in ways no human and no human-like robot can. Full rotation joints. The ability to walk backward without turning its torso. In tight factory aisles, that's basically a built-in superpower. Right now, Atlas is still running pilot work inside Hyundai's shipyards. But when it comes to pure motion capability, Atlas is still the benchmark, the standard everyone else measures against. UB-Tech Walker S2. The industrial workhorse that quietly made competitors uncomfortable. This year, it sprinted ahead in the factory race, pulling in well over $100 million in orders. But what really earned respect comes down to one thing: endurance. Most humanoid robots today run for about an hour, and then charge for 2. On a real production line, that simply doesn't work. Walker S2 tackles the problem directly, with a fully autonomous battery swap that takes just 3 minutes. It walks up to the battery bay, ejects the old pack, slots in a new one, and immediately goes back to work. In theory, it can stay online almost without stopping. That durability is why it's already deployed inside factories at NIO, Zeekr, and other automakers, handling inspection, materials, and the repetitive jobs that require stamina, not showmanship. Then in mid-November, UB-Tech made a statement. 100 Walker S, 2 units rolling out at the same time. The entire industry felt it. Even Figure AI's Brett Adcock jumped onto Twitter, suggesting the video must be fake. Walker S2 isn't the flashiest robot of 2025, but it did something more important. It pushed the question from can it do the job to can it keep doing the job? And that shift is what everyone else now has to catch up to. 1X Neo from Norway, the softest, calmest robot on this entire list. And honestly, my personal favorite. Not because it's the strongest, but because it feels safe, quiet, and genuinely ready for real homes. Neo is wrapped head to toe in soft materials. Nothing sharp, nothing heavy. And unlike those 100-pound metal tanks you see in factories, Neo weighs just 66 pounds. Light enough that even if it tipped onto a child, it wouldn't cause serious harm. Its secret is tendon-driven actuation, no grinding metal gears. Instead, it pulls its limbs the way human muscles do. That makes the robot lighter, softer, and incredibly quiet, just 22 decibels. For reference, an adult walking is around 50. Neo is quieter than a refrigerator humming in your kitchen. It can move around your living room, and you'd barely notice. If any humanoid robot in 2025 feels truly home-ready, it's this one. And the market agrees. Neo's home orders have already exceeded expectations. It won't hit you with a massive wow, but it will be the robot most people actually feel comfortable living with. Xpang Iron, the most talked about robot of the year. One short clip, Iron walking like it's on a runway, blew up online, and suddenly everyone realized Xpang isn't just making cars, they're making robots. Iron has 82 degrees of freedom, a number almost unheard of in commercial humanoids today. The moment it starts walking, you can see it. This thing does not move like a robot. But the real story isn't the walk. Inside its head is Xpang's own Turing AI chip with 2,250 TOPS of compute. In simple terms, Xpang took the same vision intelligence they built for cars and plugged it straight into a humanoid body. Iron is already interning on the Xpang P7 Plus assembly line, handling slower but high-precision tasks that still matter. Even Volkswagen has begun licensing Xpang's vision models. That alone tells you, this isn't a gimmick. Iron isn't the strongest robot of 2025. But in the race to bring automotive-grade perception into humanoid robotics, it's the one walking the furthest. Phoenix, the Canadian robot balancing on the edge between genius and total failure. Phoenix isn't the best mover, but when it comes to hands, it's the standout of 2025. While most robots rely on simple clamps, Phoenix uses a tiny hydraulic system that lets it thread a needle, unbutton a shirt, and handle objects with such delicate precision, you almost forget it's a machine. And here's the wild part. Sanctuary refuses to follow the crowd. Everyone else is going fully electric. They're doubling down on hydraulics, just smaller, faster, more precise. It's a risky bet. Hydraulics offer incredible tactile feedback, and fine control electric motors simply can't match. But they also bring higher maintenance, more complexity, and the nightmare scenario, one leak and everything stops. If the tech doesn't hold, Phoenix becomes expensive scrap. But if it works, and they truly master these microhydraulics, factories that rely on delicate assembly will want exactly one thing: a robot that can finally do the hands-on jobs humans are still required for. Digit. Built for one purpose: moving things. It's the least human-looking robot on this list, yet ironically, the one you'd trust the most on a real shift. Its reverse joint bird leg design keeps its balance rock solid even under heavy load. Digit is also the first humanoid robot approved under US OSHA safety standards. Inside Amazon warehouses, it has already moved over 100,000 bins. No drama, no complaints, no days off. Digit isn't a generalist, it's a specialist, a reliable workhorse already generating real revenue. In robotics, looking human doesn't matter, saving money does. And Digit delivers T800, the biggest breakout robot of 2025. China's very own Terminator. Back in February, the PM01 prototype landed the world's first humanoid front flip, and even went viral dancing with speed. But the moment that froze the industry came in December, when Engine AI officially unveiled the T800. It runs on a rare solid-state battery with up to 5 hours of runtime. Already impressive. But then came the clip, the one everyone talked about. The CEO Zhao Tongyang put on protective gear and let his own robot kick him across the room. Not a stunt, not a promo edit, just a raw, brutal test. Peak joint torque, 450 Newton meters. More explosive force than roughly 80% of adult men. That kick didn't just go viral. It helped Engine AI secure around $140 million in Series A funding. From elegant flips to full-power hits, Engine AI spent the entire year proving one thing: this robot isn't built to impress. It's built to make an impact. If you want a robot that doesn't flinch, that can take hits and deliver them, a full-time metal bodyguard, T800 is the toughest machine of 2025. After seeing all 10 robots, one pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Demos don't matter anymore. Real work does. Some robots are built to lift, some to assemble, some to live inside your home. After 2025, humanoids stopped competing on cool videos and started competing on real use cases. So what happens in 2026? Robots will get faster, cheaper, more capable, and a lot harder to ignore. If you want to stay ahead of where each country is pushing humanoid robotics, hit subscribe and stick around. Things are only getting started.